comfortable in your skin.
Yeah, hey there, Pubsters. Welcome back to the future.
Hey there, Pubsters. It's been a while, but we're back. My name's Emmanuel.
My name is El Conchicho.
That is his name, and welcome back to the Apple Pub. Okay, well, we're going with that.
So let's start today with news about Apple Watch's slumping sales.
Yeah, apparently the Apple Watch started off doing pretty good, and then it evened out in the middle, and then now it's 90% less than what it was selling at launch date.
Yeah, which is actually a part of the reason we assume why Apple's shares kind of fell about 3%. What was it, 4%?
Yeah, it was a pretty big amount for a stock to drop, but it was also a lot to do with what was going on in China.
Global markets and
Yeah.
everything too. But at the same time, I mean, in terms of definite viewership of what's going on, that news was released about the Apple Watch sales being dropping a lot more than what was expected to be happening. And then all of a sudden, right afterwards, there was a 3% drop.
Yeah, I would say this though, the fact that they're comparing like, oh, it's 90% less than what it was at launch. Launch is always going to be outside the norm. It's always going to sell a lot at launch, especially Apple. So I wouldn't compare it to that and say, oh, 90% is
But
missing.
then I think they're viewing it as well as, okay, iPhone sales, for example. Yeah, they're a lot less than what they're at launch, but not that much less. And they kind of remain sort of steady.
And that's what I mean, but we need to compare it to what the norm was expected to be and not, oh, it's 90% less than launch. It's more like maybe like 40% less than what they expected once it normalizes or something like that.
Still, having an almost 50% drop of what you were expecting it to be is pretty
big,
harsh.
yeah. And I think it's just the market. People don't want a expensive Fitbit, and I don't think the Apple Watch has fully grown into what it should be. It'd be interesting to compare the results to iPad sales because I wouldn't be surprised if it was something similar. But yeah, apparently it did drop 90% from launch, and Apple's stock was affected from multiple factors. For those of you who don't know, Apple did release the public beta for El Capitan and iOS 9. I already installed it on my iPad and enjoying it a bit. If you guys haven't signed up for it yet, it's a bit late, but we'll include a link down below in case you're still able to get in.
Yeah. One main thing you guys out there should know, some people kind of overlook the fact that this is a beta, meaning it is not a fully operating system. There are going to be bugs. There are going to be stability issues. Not everything is active. Most recently, what was it? Apple Music was not available on the beta. However, it is available on iOS 8. You might have some battery issues. This is normal. So definitely do not install it on your main device.
Yeah, the public beta they released, by the way, is the same as the developer beta 3, version 3, which finally included the Apple Music. So people were able to enjoy that who already upgraded to iOS 9 before, on through the developer betas. But yeah, it's I've used it on my iPad, not on my phone, because I don't want to have crashes and issues with my phone. And really enjoying the multitasking.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I saw you going through it a second ago.
Yeah, it's very well done and very enjoyable. It takes a bit of getting used to. I had a lot of Wi-Fi issues when I did upgrade. So, like Ralph said, be careful. Don't do it on your main device that you rely on.
Apparently, there's also an iPod update that's in the works.
Yeah, there's this website, a French website called iGen, that leaked some information, and they're pretty reliable. Apparently, they have a good track record, and it was saying that there are going to be new iPod Touches with 64-bit internal
processors.
Yeah.
And the other iPod variants, the Nano and the Shuffle and
just the rest of the lineup
will just be getting color updates.
Yeah, and it's probably gonna be in as we've seen on the pictures, it's probably gonna be more like the colors that Chinese people like,
brighter.
Extravagant. Tim Cook has said that he's admitted that the color choices they made, I think with the gold iPhone, it was in tune with China's taste. and that's been one of the main reasons they did it. So
yeah, mostly because it's becoming a bigger market for that.
yeah, bigger than America already, and
It was announced that we should be expecting some kind of announcement this Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, July the 14th.
yeah, and the shipping times for iPods also slipped to 3 to 5 weeks. Was it
3 to 5 days?
3 to 5 days?
Just today at around like noon.
Yeah, and anytime you see that happening, unless it's launch day or something, if the shipping time starts slowing down, it means the supplies are constrained and they're about to launch a new product. So
it happened exactly. That's what happened with what was it?
Every product.
No. Just recently. It was the new MacBooks.
Oh yeah,
the 15-inch Pros.
Yeah, and that's the one telltale sign people use. So yeah, do expect new iPods to be announced, and we're looking forward to that for whoever still is in the market for
an
those.
iPod. Hey, I still use the Shuffle, so
yeah,
I like it when I run.
There's still a small market.
Yeah.
In some iPhone 6s rumors, 9to5 Mac was able to get some images of the internals of the iPhone 6s.
Yeah, apparently the new logic board that they found hints to there being, again, with starting off with the 16 gigabyte models for the iPhone 6s, which is kind of a bummer. We were really hoping that the 32 gigabyte would have been the starting point, but it seems it's going to be, again, the 16, 64, and 128 models.
Phil Schiller recently said that there's no need to go up because there are cloud services. One, I'm going to bash on Apple on this one because this annoys the heck out of me. So give me 30 seconds to rant.
Take the floor.
Okay, so it's one, their storage plans, the free ones out the door already suck. 5 gigabytes is ridiculous. Two, it's almost like they just want to force people to spend more money. I get it's a business. I get you have to make profit. I'm all for that. But Steve Jobs was always about the experience and making a good product. And 16 gigabytes today is just, there's no excuse for it.
16 gigabytes today is what you would get in like a high-end for your RAM on your desktop.
Yeah, and here's the thing. One of those bloggers, he said something like, there's usually 3 options. There's decent, good, and best. And and he would compare it to the storage sizes. There's 16, 32, and 64, and that was great for several years. When the iPhone came out and all that. But nowadays it's more like there's the best, and then there's good, and then there's are you sure?
Yeah.
Like are you sure? Like
no,
you really want to go slide by on like 16 gigs because it just, even with the improvements they've made with iOS 9, I think it's kind of messed up of Apple to really try to force people in that direction. If you really want more money, charge more. You have that Apple Premium thing going for you, but don't make your product crappier just to force people to behave differently. I don't know. That's my take on the situation.
Yeah, I think at the point of being so cheap to make chips nowadays, especially of that size, it should have been something more along the lines of 32, the 128, and then maybe like the 256 would have been nice. I know everything's moving to the cloud, but there's just some people who really like to have it on their phone, there to go.
Yeah, and there's Apple Music. I know they want people to move everything towards their photos on.
But you need a connection at all times to be able to do that. Data rate wise, if you're like with someone who doesn't give you unlimited data.
I would say 32, 64, and 128 is good enough for me. I'm not complaining about that. I do think that there's some logic behind what they're doing because the higher models are subsidized by the
the lower model is subsidized by the higher cost.
Yeah, and I get they have a certain way set up, but it's really time to change that and
not even change that. I mean, you should still at least start with 32. You're going to be running through 32 in a matter of moments. Like,
how many people didn't upgrade to iOS 8 because they didn't have enough space on their phones? Nowadays, people take tons of photos, and most people. Apple has always been about making it very simple to use, and most people aren't tech savvy, so they simplify things. Most people aren't gonna transfer their photos constantly to their MacBook so they could upgrade, to iOS.
And speaking of that, if rumors are true, there was also a new set of rumors that the camera will in fact be the 12 megapixel camera, allowing to do 4K video and up to 240 frames per second video. That will definitely take up some space. That is really going to take up the space really fast. So that just adds on top of the whole problem with the 16 gigabyte model starting off with.
12 megapixels and 4K video. 16 gigabytes isn't enough. The silver lining in this is this may have just been a prototype. They always test these things out, and I really hope Apple has come to their senses. But based on Phil Schiller's words, and he's an executive, he can't tell people much, but he said things in the past that made people think, oh, Apple's not interested in NFC. But they ended up bringing it out, and it was a few years in the works.
Yeah.
So they're always
there's even
be
rumors about a new NFC chip coming out as well.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, about that. And let's put this all behind us because I think our rant is over. But about the NFC chip.
Yeah, they're going to be updating the NFC chip. They're not exactly sure as to what that's going to mean in terms of performance or anything. But they might be including
The secure element.
Yeah, the secure element processor might be included within the NFC chip instead of having two individual chips.
Yeah, and there was one more piece of news. It's not coming to me. The LTE chip
Yes.
from Qualcomm.
They are updating their modem, the LTE modem chip, which should allow you faster speeds while increasing the efficiency of using this chip, so it would be less battery life.
And that, as a geek, nothing turns me on more than better
Speeds and battery
performance and more energy efficiency.
Yeah.
So if you're able to make things better, faster, and at the same time more efficient and prolong the battery, man, like that's.
Hey, we have some good things to look forward to. I mean, what was it? TSMC, the chip manufacturers. It's TSMC, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I always forget. I don't know.
TSMC, yeah, no, that sounds right. Okay.
They also just announced that they're going to be coming out with their 10 nanometer chips pretty soon, so that will be pretty intense.
And there's news out about IBM making the first 7 nanometer chip ever. They weren't. It's a shock because the lowest that they've been able to get it has been double digits. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of putting Intel on their game, because they take their time a lot of times, and they need that competition to spur them on. But yeah, very exciting things with internal improvements.
We should see big things coming soon.
Yeah, and that's usually what you expect from an S upgrade. Don't expect big hardware changes on the outside.
Which actually, honestly, the just the camera itself and a couple of things it's some pretty big news. You have Force Touch and everything coming. That's a pretty big change for an S. I think this is going to be one of the biggest jumps for an S level phone.
Yeah, with the Force Touch and the aluminum 7000 series aluminum, it's just going to be
a lot of big changes.
Yeah, and so if you haven't got the 6,
definitely the 6S is going to be an upgrade.
Yeah, a big upgrade. And but for people who have the 6, as usual, I mean, I think
it's still a pretty big upgrade.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't.
It's the most justifiable S upgrade if you've had the one preceding it. Mm-hmm. I would say that. I would give it that. The 4S was like, okay, it has Siri, it's faster, but 5S was pretty good. It had Touch ID, but it wasn't like amazing. But the 6S sounds like
it's a pretty big jump.
Yeah. So Force Touch in itself, like that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. So I guess that about covers it for today.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for stopping by, watching the video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.
Yeah, and if you have any questions at all, please leave them down in the comment box below. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. And we'll try to get our videos out a little more, frequently. We've just been a little busy. It's summer. I started a new job and everything. So, yeah, definitely. We'll try to get to you sooner.
Yeah, take care, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
And stay classy.